Welcome to Wisdom of Mythology, the channel where gods, legends, and ancient dramas come to life. If you think mythology is just old stories, think again. Here, we dive into the epic tales of love, betrayal, and chaos that shaped the ancient world, and we do it with a modern twist. So, grab your ambrosia, sit back, and get ready to explore the divine soap operas of Olympus. Because here at Wisdom of Mythology, myths never die, they just get juicier. Aphrodite, Ares, and Hephaestus, a love triangle worthy of Olympus. Let's set the stage. You're Hephaestus, the godly blacksmith, master of fire, forger of lightning bolts for Zeus himself. You live in a palace filled with magical gadgets, married to Aphrodite, the literal goddess of love and beauty. Sounds like a dream life, right? Well, not so much when your wife is sneaking around with Ares, the god of war. Yeah, the buff guy who brings chaos wherever he goes. What could possibly go wrong? Aphrodite and Ares' affair was one of Olympus's worst-kept secrets. The two couldn't resist stealing glances at banquets, brushing hands during chariot races, and disappearing together at official meetings of the gods. Everyone knew something was up, except for Hephaestus. Poor guy was too busy crafting masterpieces to notice the sparks flying in his own home. And speaking of poor decisions, where did Aphrodite and Ares decide to conduct their rendezvous? Oh, in Hephaestus' own marital bed. That's right. They turned the god of craftsmen's bedroom into their personal love nest. It's as if they wanted to be caught, or were just that bad at hiding things. When the whispers became impossible to ignore, Hephaestus decided to take matters into his own hands. Forget therapy or heart-to-heart, this was Olympus, where drama was mandatory. Using his unmatched skills, Hephaestus forged an invisible, unbreakable golden net. It was delicate enough to be mistaken for decoration, but strong enough to trap even Ares. One day, as Aphrodite and Ares indulged in their secret passion, the net snapped into place, ensnaring the pair in a compromising and highly awkward position. Hephaestus didn't stop there. He summoned the entire Olympian pantheon to witness the spectacle. Because what's the point of revenge if it doesn't come with an audience? Zeus, Hermes, Apollo, and others gathered around, some amused, some embarrassed, and some, like Poseidon, just there for the free entertainment. The gods whispered, giggled, and exchanged not-so-subtle glances. Hermes, always the jokester, reportedly quipped, "I guess love really is a battlefield." Aphrodite and Ares squirmed in the net, their faces burning red, not with divine glow but sheer humiliation. Meanwhile, Hephaestus stood proudly, basking in the vindication of his brilliance. It wasn't just a trap, it was a masterpiece of engineering and pettiness. But like most Greek myths, the drama didn't end there. Poseidon, being the mediator he occasionally pretended to be, convinced Hephaestus to release the lovers. The reasoning? Olympus couldn't function with its gods trapped in a scandalous web. Hephaestus eventually relented, but not without a stern warning. Despite the public humiliation, Aphrodite and Ares continued their fiery affair, just a bit more discreetly. Hephaestus, though, seemed to focus on his work, forging new weapons and tools that would go down in mythic history. Let's be honest, in Olympus, grudges weren't just common, they were practically currency. The tale of Aphrodite, Ares, and Hephaestus became a favorite among mortals and immortals alike. It wasn't just a story of betrayal, it was a reminder that even gods had messy love lives. In a way, it humanized them, or at least made mortals feel slightly better about their own romantic disaster. As for Hephaestus, he earned a newfound respect, not just for his skills, but for pulling off the most dramatic revenge plot in divine history. His message was clear: you might be the god of love or war, but nobody messes with the god of craft and gets away unscathed. Zeus, the ultimate multitasker of Olympus, between managing the cosmos, throwing lightning bolts, and judging mortal disputes, the king of gods somehow found time to pursue every mortal, nymph, and deity who caught his eye. The results? A list of lovers longer than the Iliad and a string of dramatic consequences that kept Olympus in constant chaos. Europa and the Bull. In a quiet meadow near the coast of Phoenicia, Europa, a mortal princess, spent her days basking in the simplicity of nature. The flowers were in bloom, the air carried a gentle warmth, and the only interruptions to her peace were the occasional flocks of birds overhead. Little did she know, Zeus, king of the gods, was watching her from Mount Olympus. His thunderous responsibilities could wait. This young maiden had captured his attention. But Zeus, ever the creative pursuer, knew he couldn't just approach Europa as himself. His reputation for mischief preceded him. Instead, he decided on a disguise, a majestic white bull. Not just any bull, but one so radiant it looked as though it had stepped out of the heavens. The creature's eyes gleamed with intelligence, its coat shone brighter than the midday sun, and it exuded an otherworldly grace. Europa, initially cautious, found herself drawn to the gentle creature. She stroked its gleaming fur and marveled at its calm demeanor. Her attendants watched in awe as the bull knelt, inviting Europa to climb onto its back. Laughing, she obliged, unaware that this seemingly innocent act would change her life forever. The moment she was seated, Zeus revealed his true intentions. The bull, with Europa on its back, charged toward the sea at lightning speed. Her laughter turned into cries of alarm as waves crashed against them. Before she could comprehend what was happening, the bull swam across the ocean, carrying her far from her homeland. They arrived in Crete, a land of rugged beauty and ancient secrets. There, Zeus revealed his divine form, glowing with celestial power. While Europa was stunned and overwhelmed, she couldn't deny the strange allure of her captor. Zeus, ever persuasive, assured her that her future as Queen of Crete would bring glory and prosperity. Europa eventually bore Zeus 3 sons who would become legendary figures themselves, including Minos, the future king of Crete. While she adjusted to her new life, the story of her abduction spread across the ancient world, sparking both admiration for her resilience and criticism of Zeus's methods. Meanwhile, Hera, Zeus's wife, seated on Olympus. This was yet another betrayal to add to her growing list of grievances. But for Europa, the experience was bittersweet, a tale of loss, transformation, and reluctant glory, forever etched into the stars. Leda and the Swan. On a tranquil day in Sparta, Queen Leda strolled along the edge of a serene lake, her thoughts as calm as the water's surface. Unbeknownst to her, Zeus had been watching from above, captivated by her beauty. Yet, rather than descending as himself, Zeus opted for yet another elaborate disguise, a graceful swan. The swan floated toward Leda, its snowy feathers glinting in the sunlight. Its elegance seemed almost unnatural, as if the creature itself was a divine entity. Leda, charmed by the swan's beauty and trusting its harmless appearance, allowed it to draw near. Zeus, taking full advantage of his disguise, approached Leda with calculated tenderness. He fluffed his feathers, emitted soft coos, and circled her gracefully. Leda, amused by the swan's antics, knelt by the water's edge to observe it more closely. In that vulnerable moment, Zeus revealed his true intentions, enveloping Leda in an experience she could scarcely comprehend. The waters rippled with divine energy as Zeus's deception played out, leaving Leda stunned and forever changed by the encounter. In the days that followed, Leda discovered she was pregnant, an outcome she had never anticipated. To her astonishment, she bore 2 eggs, from which emerged children of extraordinary beauty and power. Among them were Helen, destined to be the most beautiful woman in the world, and Pollux, a demigod with unmatched strength. Leda's life was forever altered. While the children brought her joy, the circumstances of their conception became the subject of whispers and speculation. Zeus, as usual, returned to Olympus, leaving Leda to navigate the complexities of her newfound fame and responsibilities. The tale of Leda and the Swan remains one of Zeus's most audacious exploits. It is a story of innocence disrupted, divine intervention, and the origins of some of mythology's most iconic figures, a reminder that even gods weave webs of complexity and chaos. Semele and Hera's revenge. Semele, a mortal princess of Thebes, lived a life that most envied. Her beauty was unparalleled, her charm irresistible, and her spirit bright enough to catch the eye of Zeus himself. When the king of gods descended to Thebes in his divine splendor, Semele could not resist his advances. Zeus promised her the world, whispering sweet assurances of love and devotion. But love with Zeus was never simple, and Hera, Zeus's wife, had her suspicions. When whispers of her husband's infidelity reached her ears, she descended from Olympus, her heart burning with rage and vengeance. Hera was determined to put an end to yet another affair, and this time, her plan was as cruel as it was cunning. Disguised as an old, wise woman, Hera befriended Semele. She showered the young princess with compliments and advice, subtly planting seeds of doubt about Zeus's true identity. How do you know he's really the king of gods? What if he's just pretending to be divine? Hera asked, her voice dripping with feigned concern. Semele, already enamored but now uncertain, confronted Zeus. She demanded proof of his divinity, urging him to reveal himself in his full, godly form. Zeus, bound by his oath to never refuse her requests, reluctantly agreed, despite knowing the catastrophic consequences. When Zeus revealed his true form, the skies darkened, and bolts of pure energy lit up the heavens. Semele, a mortal unable to withstand the sight of his divine brilliance, was instantly consumed in flames. Her cries echoed through Thebes as her mortal form turned to ash. Yet, from tragedy came an unexpected miracle. Zeus, desperate to save their unborn child, took the fetus and sewed it into his thigh. Months later, from this peculiar act of divine gestation, Dionysus, the god of wine and revelry, was born. Semele's tale became a cautionary myth, a reminder of the dangers of love with gods and the wrath of jealous divinities. Hera's revenge was complete, and Zeus, once again, carried the weight of his indiscretion. Meanwhile, Dionysus grew to be a god of indulgence and chaos, embodying both the tragedy and triumph of his origins. And that's it for today's episode of Wisdom of Mythology. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the wild and chaotic lives of the gods. If you want more drama, more legends, and more epic tales from the ancient world, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Don't miss a single story, because trust us, the myths only get crazier from here. Oh, and let us know in the comments which myth you'd like us to uncover next. Until then, stay mythical. Subscribe now to Wisdom of Mythology, where every story is larger than life, just like the gods themselves.